The Unfiltered by Jade.
Jade. Welcome to The Unfiltered by Jade, where we get out of the box and dive into topics that are sidelined. I look forward to entertain, educate, and inspire. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, donate, and make everybody know about this.
Beats by RB Records.
Shopping assistance, your style, your budget. Our services include online and local shopping for individuals and businesses, personal shopping, purchasing of company and office supplies, importing and exporting small packages across Jamaica and worldwide, and helping you find unique gifts and items for all events and occasions. Contact us at 876-919-5195 or shoppingassistance2015@gmail.com. Shopping Assistance, your style, your budget.
Welcome back to The Unfiltered by Jade. Today we have with us a special person, and he is Jeremy Nichols. And he is here to speak with us today about why we're resigning from our jobs. So, hi Jeremy.
Hello, how are you?
I am doing great, and you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking.
No problem. So, can you introduce yourself to us, please?
Yes, of course. So, like you said, I'm Jeremy Nichols. I'm Florida's hospitality headhunter. I'm with Gecko Hospitality, which is a nationwide hospitality recruiting firm. We operate across the U.S. and Canada and the Caribbean. We focus on strictly hospitality. So anything from restaurants, resorts, hotels, clubs, private estate, you name it, hospitality, we do it. Okay. And I focus strictly on the state of Florida. And that is what I do.
Nice. Very good. And that's why you're the best person, or as you said, one of the best persons to speak about it.
Well, I tend to be pretty vocal on a lot of podcasts and YouTube, and you probably saw me pop up in many of those. So,
yes, I did.
Yeah. So even though I work strictly in Florida, our firm is nationwide, and I've been doing recruiting and talent acquisition for over 20 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
It is. It is. So, I mean, let's go into it. Why is it that we're resigning from our jobs?
Oh my gosh, there's a lot to unpack there. Dave, yeah. I mean, do you want me to just go broad stroke real quick? I can do it for hospitality. I can't really say it for everybody, but I could talk about strictly hospitality, which I think trickles into like most industries because my wife she's in healthcare. She's a registered nurse, and she was in ICU she was at Tampa General Hospital for 15 years, and she stopped. One of the reasons was COVID, right? People, I think that's the first thing that we have to kind of address. Obviously, 2020 is when this pretty much started, and my wife stepped out of being in ICU, and she now is a transitional care nurse, and she works from home. So a lot of people resigned to leave the workplace, leave the office, leave being on premises. They were scared, health. They didn't want to get COVID. They didn't want to be subject to getting sick, or maybe they didn't want to, like in our case, my wife and I are pretty healthy. We have a 3-year-old daughter, and we take care of an elderly mother who is very, very high risk. So my wife didn't want to bring COVID home. So there's one bucket. And then I think once we started to get out of COVID and get out of the fear of getting sick, what have you, a lot of other things started popping up. Like people just don't want to go back. Right. They don't want to go back. They had time. They had a lot of time to reevaluate their lives and what's important to them. And hospitality is a very brutal, tough industry. You're on your feet. It's notorious for being thankless at times. There's a lot of giving from our talent that work in hospitality that it's exhausting. And so some people went back, and then they realized real quick they didn't want to be there. They didn't want to be there anymore. And I think you could say that for a lot of industries. But people went back to the office and didn't want to be there, and some people went back to the hospitals and didn't want to be there. And so there's that bucket of people. And then with the shortage of talent, obviously we had thousands and thousands, close to 1 million people that passed away, that took away, and opened up vacancies. There's that bucket too. And then a lot, I mean, I can go on and on, Jade. You're starting a whole whirlwind. I got a lot of reasons. There's also the boomers who retired early, and they decided to reassess their retirement and retire early. So you got that bucket right there. And then there's a whole group of people who now are in the market, in this candidate market. There's so many jobs available that people are kicking the word around great resignation. But I don't think it is that anymore. I think right now it's just the great upgrade. People just are upgrading everywhere. They're upgrading their salaries, they're upgrading their positions, their titles, their responsibilities, better work-life balance. So there's so many reasons why people are resigning from the jobs. It's not one broad stroke. It's a whole bunch of things. Yeah, a whole bunch of things.
So speaking about that, first of all, when you had mentioned that, we had persons dying and it opened up vacancies, I was like, my God, look at that team. People die, so vacancies are opened up.
Yeah, right.
People can get jobs.
Pretty dark, right?
It's pretty dark.
I didn't want to bring that one up, but I mean, that definitely impacts it, right?
It does. It does. What I want to know, I know you speak basically about the hospitality industry, but even looking at YouTube, is it that many persons now have quit their jobs to go to YouTube? It's safer, you're in your home, and people are making money off YouTube now. Okay. So yeah, another good point right there. People are wondering, where do these people go? Where do they go to? Well, a lot of them went to gig work, so people can leave their. I mean, this is not really I can't really say this is impacting C-suite and director level, but your entry level management and your middle class that are making a pretty decent income and support, and helping be that second source of their family income for their household. People that have maybe a husband or wife that are working full time and they just need that extra income. A lot of them went to gig work, and they're delivering groceries for Shipt. They're working for Amazon, they're UPS. And they can make their own schedules on their phone, and they can work whenever they want. So they're like, why am I doing this where this boss is telling me what to do? I'm going to be my own boss. I'm just going to do gig work and make some money and hustle on the side. And a lot of them are making better money doing that, and they're happier because they're happier. Yeah. So that, and then of course you said YouTube and TikTok and influence. I mean, there's like so many other ways you can bring in income. So I want to know, there probably has also been some onset of why persons are deciding to leave. And I was doing some reading, and I see that persons were complaining about how they were being treated when the pandemic just started, in terms of they probably weren't being taken care of by their company in terms of safety.
Yeah.
And because of that, if I'm not being taken care of, it doesn't make sense I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
So, that's why persons are leaving. But it's funny because, I'm here in Atlanta, and I'm driving all over the place, and I'm seeing almost everybody has vacancies, and people are not taking the jobs.
Well, Jade, that's spot on. That's another bucket, which I probably forgot off the million other ones that I named. But that's so when COVID, and I can speak directly to this because in hospitality is probably one of the biggest industries that did exactly what you're talking about, which would be, I guess you would call that loyalty to your company, right? So when COVID hit, we never heard the word furlough before. Did you know what furlough was before COVID? No. Right? So now it's a common thing. Okay, furlough, right? Everybody knows what furlough is, but nobody really knew what that word was. It kind of just came out of nowhere. I mean, it was around, but it wasn't like it was when COVID hit. And everybody in hospitality, I'm talking 60% or more, were completely let go and furloughed. Boom. Just gone. And restaurants were closed down and shut down. Hospitality was impacted more than almost any industry, period. There's no debate. Yeah. So all this talent that were, making, decent salaries, some of them in C-suite, some of them in director titles, making, triple figure. Right. They were like furloughed and let go. And automatically, after all those years, they invested their bonuses that they thought they were going to get, thousands of dollars worth of bonuses, completely wiped, gone. Mm-hmm. So a lot of them had that time of reflection to think, like, why am I being loyal to this company when they weren't loyal to me? And I heard that all the time. So when all of a sudden companies are coming back and saying, we need you back, and we're going to do this, that, and the third to retain you, people don't forget that stuff.
No.
And so there's that too. I mean, but there is a chunk of people who were taken care of during COVID, and they're really hard to get. Like, I'll try to go after these people as a recruiter to try to poach them or take them and get them to another job, and they won't budge because the company was loyal to them. But the great majority of the people were not. So you're accurate.
How do people really like working from home or not? Because there's mixed feelings on that. And I mean, I heard you speaking about that on another podcast before.
Yes, you're right. I did. I think it was. Yes, I think, who was I with? Oh, I was with Meredith Rio. We were talking about. Right. Yeah. So I personally like working from home, but it's in my DNA. I'm just that type of person. Okay. But a lot of people are extroverted, and they like to they do well. They do well with people. They do well with like routine, and they just don't self-manage properly. That doesn't mean they're not a good employee. It's just some people just need that nudge or that guidance, and they know that. And it just depends. I mean, there's not one type of person. Like, we're all so unique and different, and that's why each person's fingerprint is different, right? Like, everybody's different. And so there's millions of people that are not good at working from home. They don't want to work from home. Some people think they want to, and then they try it out and they hate it because they get bored, distracted. Yeah. So,
and family dynamics play a part in that also. Because if you have kids crying, or you have to attend to different things.
Oh God, yeah. Trust me, I know all about that. I had to watch my daughter for almost 2 years, and that was very stressful. Having a 2-year-old at the time, when I'm on conference calls, banging on my office door, and I'd have to like mute the phone and run over. But people understand that now. Like, when I get on calls, first thing I'll say is, "Hey, Jade, just to let you know, my daughter's home from school right now. So just in case you hear any kind of crazy noises, I'm just telling you, you might hear her. Yeah, no problem."
Oh my goodness. How valuable is an employee to a company? So with this question, let me give you the background story behind it. So I was speaking to a number of persons, which includes my husband also. So at their workplace is normally a family-oriented organization. And since COVID, they have changed strategies on how to do things. And people are no longer seeing it as family-oriented and you looking out for your workers. It's more looking out for the organization. So it's like, how valuable are we if we were family before and all of a sudden now there is COVID and you're now looking out for the organization more than us? How valuable are we really to your organization?
Yeah. I mean, if you're not thinking about it's I think some of that is like knee-jerk reaction, right? If you're speaking in reference to people being a little bit more flexible, with people being sick too, right? I feel like companies have to be very uber aware of that, and the ones that are still looking at you as a commodity and need like the butt in the seat kind of mentality, they're kind of going away quick. And I understand. Don't get me wrong. I get it. There's a lot of, especially in my industry, like there's positions where you have to physically be at work to do your job. You have to be there. If you're a housekeeper, if you're a chief engineer, if you're a front desk agent, you have to be there. You can't be at work from home. But your supervisors and your management need to understand that if you are sick, you're sick, and you should not be at work because you're going to endanger people. And you need to be able to figure that out logistically in operations and be able to fill that missing person somehow with your schedule.
I mean, but that's the part that's hard, because sometimes they don't have enough persons to fill in.
I know.
So it becomes like you can't get sick.
Totally. Yeah.
if you get sick, you're probably not going to get paid for that day.
Right. And then there's people, there has been a dynamic shift to PTO lately, and adding PTO and sick days and paid time off and vacation on onboarding, at least in my industry. Like that has been something that has been addressed. But as far as like having not enough manpower, yeah, sometimes like if you're at a small mom and pop restaurant and your chef doesn't come in, and then you had a couple other calls. Yeah. You might have to shut your doors down. And that's happened here. I live in Tampa. There's been times I went to a restaurant and the doors are shut.
Mercy. That's them also losing money, and they can't afford to do so. So, it's on both sides, on where they need you to come into work. And if you're being sick and they can't find somebody else, it's going to be a problem. So now they're faced with, should I let you go and find somebody else? Or should I allow you to be sick and take those days off while I close my doors?
It's like a lose-lose, though, because if you are like really sick and you come to work and get all your team members sick, then it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it doesn't stop. I mean,
where do you go? What do you do?
I mean, there are going to have to be ways to go about this. Really do. Did the vaccination requirement change the work environment?
I live in Florida.
That's it. That's enough said.
There you go. Yeah. So I'll be pretty frank. I don't care sharing my views. So I'm vaccinated. I'm boosted. I mean, I support the vaccine, but I know I also respect the fact that there are millions that don't want to. And here in Florida, like I wear my mask when I go out still, because I don't want to get it. Because even though I know I'm vaccinated, I can still carry it, and I don't want my mother-in-law to get sick. So I'm extra careful. And my daughter, she can't get vaccinated, and I don't want her to get sick. And then some people might say, "Oh, well, they don't get. It's just a cold to them." Well, we don't know that. And if there's a 1% chance that I cannot get her sick and not roll the dice on it, I'm going to do it. So like, you know what? It's my business. I'm going to wear a mask. And if you don't want to wear one, that's your business. That's kind of how Florida. So I can't really answer that question about the vaccine mandates, because we didn't really have them down here.
Oh, okay.
We did not. The only places that really had them was like medical and senior living. But other than that, like, it doesn't exist. There's not even there's not really even mask mandates, except for a couple businesses that like Costco and Disney. But mostly no, it's not down here.
Oh, okay. Because for some places, from the building itself is a vaccinated building.
Yeah.
So if it is that you are going in or you're a worker from that building, you have to be vaccinated.
Yeah, here in Florida, I've never had anybody look at my vaccine card once in Florida.
Really?
Zero, zilch.
Wow, it's different here.
Yeah, no, they don't care. It's.
Oh my God, it's totally different here. Yeah. Totally different.
We're a red state, Jade.
That says a lot.
Yeah, go ahead. It's pretty split. Yeah.
Oh my God, who sets the mandates for the HR to follow?
Within the company?
Yes.
Well, again, I'm answering for Florida. So Florida is going to just keep their eye on what the governor says and what the state says.
Okay.
So like we had it was supposed to go through, and Governor DeSantis pushed super hard against it, like everywhere. Like he pushed against masks in schools. He pushed against everywhere. He was like done totally like anti-mask, anti all that mandate. He's not anti-vax because he is vaccinated, but he was just anti-mandate. Right. So it never happened down here. I mean, the only ones that really happened were federal, which federal had to follow suit, and then a couple like big organizations like Disney World did it. And like Busch Gardens, like when you went to visit the park, they would do it. But that's gone too. Like we're going to Disney World this weekend for my daughter, my daughter's birthday. Yeah. And there's zero mask mandate, indoor or outdoor, period. Yeah.
Man. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. I'm making you scared, right? I'm telling you, Florida's crazy. Florida's like Wild Wild West down here. But take it or love it or hate it, our numbers are down. And we had a huge, crazy, peak of Delta and a huge, crazy peak in Omicron, but it's down again. So I don't know.
Something is happening. Something is working.
I just do my thing. I mind my business. And I try not to judge. Like, if you don't want to do it, then it's your deal. And if I'm going to do it, don't stop me on the street and yell at me for don't yell at me for getting a jab, and don't yell at me for wearing a mask. Like, I'll leave you alone. Just leave me alone.
Everybody mind their own business.
Yeah, mind your business. Yeah, that's what I.
Oh my goodness. Oh, well, we're at the end of it, but I want to know, where is it that we can find you?
Find me? Oh my God, you can find me on YouTube. My channel is my name. It's pretty simple. It's Jeremy Nichols. That's my channel, Jeremy Nichols. And you can find me on LinkedIn. Those are the two platforms that I'm the most vocal on.
Okay.
I do a LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live, Facebook Live show once a month. Every final Friday. It's called The Hiring Lens, and it's myself and some recruiters from around the world. And we talk about hiring and recruiting and retention, onboarding. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those, TikTok. But the main platforms for me is YouTube and LinkedIn. Yeah.
What's your name on Instagram?
Oh, me. I think it's the Jeremy Nichols.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah. It's all the links are on my LinkedIn page. I think.
Okay, I'll find it there.
Yeah.
I'll find it there.
Yeah, I'm on all of them. I'm on Clubhouse too. All those.
Yeah, but I think I see you really more on LinkedIn.
Oh yeah, that's like my main one. That and YouTube.
Okay. Awesome, no problem. So thank you again for being on here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You made talking about resigning fun.
That's a win for me.
Thank you so much for that. And thank you again, listeners, for listening to Unfiltered by Jade. And we'll be back next week, Tuesday. Thank you. Bam, 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 bam,